So this yoga flow targets your shoulders, arms, and core to build real functional strength, and it doesn't need any props. So let's start this simple practice by coming to the front of the mat, and it's going to stand nice and tall. So both feet flat on the floor. So breathing in, lengthening up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, feel the awareness come down through the soles of the feet. So just breathing in. So feeling the chest, the sternum lift. As you inhale, crown of the head lifts up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, just rolling those shoulders back. And bringing the awareness down into the soles of the feet. And bringing the palms into prayer position. So palms together in front of the heart. And we're just going to do some simple half sun salutations to start. So breathe in, arms coming out to the side. Open the chest. A little bit of a back bend. And as you lengthen through the front of the body. And as you exhale, soft bend in the knees, coming all the way down. The fingertips touch the floor, and you can see my knees are bent. And as we breathe in, going to come in all the way up. So engaging the glutes, pelvic floor, lower abdomen, and lift. Open the chest again. And then bring the hands back into prayer position. So we're going to do another 2 of those. So breathing in through the nose. Open up through the chest. Exhale, folding forward, just into the whole of the body. Absolutely gorgeous. This time we're going to just straighten the legs, but having the hands on the shins to support yourself. So leaning forward slightly, and then bend the knees and peeling the belly off the thighs once more, engaging the glutes, pelvic floor, lower abdomen as we come up, and then bringing the hands back into prayer position. Once more, breathing in. Exhale, coming all the way back down again. Fingertips on the floor. You can either keep the fingertips on the floor as you straighten legs, or you can place the hands on the shins. Just give yourself some support, no strain in the lower back. And then bending the knees. And then peeling the belly off the thighs, coming all the way up. Open the chest, really enjoying this feeling, just starting to create this mobility in the body. And this time, we're going to take a big step back with the right foot. So breathing in. Inhale. Release down. Just looking forward slightly. Remember that support. Hands on the shins. And then fingertips down. And then stepping back as far as you can with that right leg. Dropping that knee. And you'll feel this really nice opening in the front of the quad, the hip flexor. So letting the pelvic floor sink down. And then pressing into the ground with that left foot as you release up. So we've got this back bend. And then closing down. And we're going to step back into downward facing dog. And that's just walking out the dog. So downward facing dog is absolutely fantastic for the shoulders, shoulder strength, arm strength, mobility. And it also gives you the opportunity to engage the core and then lengthen through the spine. And then release the knees down and coming back into child's pose. So sitting back into child's pose, and you might notice a really nice opening in the shins, in the lower back, and externally rotate the tops of the arms to feel the shoulders broadening. And we're going to do this simple downward dog sequence. So breathing in, coming up, tucking the toes under, pressing back into downward facing dog. Breathing in, releasing the knees down, and exhaling back into child's pose. So let's do that another couple of times. So breathing in, coming up, tucking the toes under, pressing back into downward facing dog. As you inhale, release the knees down, and then exhale back into child's pose. Inhale, coming up. Always inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose as you come into downward facing dog. And let's just hold it in downward facing dog for a few breaths. And then to make this a little bit stronger, especially around the trapezius muscles, that's the muscles in the upper part of the back. Let's just press the hands into the ground and see if you can lengthen. So really sort of start to feel that the trapezius muscles around the shoulder blades doing some work. And these are like sort of downward dog kind of press-ups. So pressing the ground away, lengthening the spine and the tailbone away from the shoulders. And then from there, let's release down. But we're not going to come all the way down. We're going to hold those knees off the ground. So this really helps to develop strength in the arms. Bit of heat as well, and you can feel this in the abdomen. So the abdomen is working. Although you've got a lot of things going on, you're introducing tension into the body. There's no strain here. Just find some relaxation where you can. And then release. And if you wanted to, you could hold that for as long as you want. It's a great little exercise just to warm yourself up. And then releasing all the way back into child's pose. Just for a rest for a few moments. And you can either place the hands by the side of the feet with the shoulders draped over the knees, or you can stack the fists and have the forehead resting on the fists. So, important thing with child's pose is to see if you can sit back towards the heels rather than sort of being up here. And it's not always possible because of mobility in the knees, but that's what we're working towards eventually. So this is fine. Elbows nice and wide. Palms or the fists stacked on top of each other. Or if you're super flexible and you can keep the buttocks down on the heels, you can place the forehead on the ground. So breathing into the back of the heart, the side of the ribs, breathing in, expanding, finding space in the rib cage. Let's do another couple of those breaths, breathing in deeply, expanding into the back of the heart, side of the rib cage, making all those intercostal muscles open up a little bit more. And then from there, we're going to just bring the hands forward and coming up onto all fours. And we're going to do a similar sequence, but this time we're going to come into plank. So up onto all fours, tuck the toes under, and then we're in plank. And when you're in plank, the abdomen engages. So if you've got a nice flat plank position, and then inhale, knees come down, exhale, sitting back into child's pose. So breathing in, tucking the toes under, into plank, nice flat plank. Release the knees, And then coming all the way back into child's pose. So breathing in, coming up, tuck the toes under, into plank. Nice flat plank. Crown of the head is moving away from the heels, really finding that length. Inhale and release. And once more, coming up, tucking the toes under, and then hold it in plank. So let's hold it for a few breaths here now. So abdomen is engaged, nose pointing down to the ground. So back of the neck nice and long, crown of the head moving away from the body. So again, there's probably some strength work going on in the body here, bit of heat being generated. But where you can, see if you can find some relaxation, some gentleness here. So that you are introducing tension, muscular tension in the body, but it doesn't have to be hard work. Just soften wherever you can, soften the breath. And again, you can hold this for as long as you like. But for now, let's release the knees down. And then coming all the way back. And resting back into child's pose. So whichever your preferred version is, either stacking the forehead on the fists, on the palms, or on the floor. And if you've got your forehead on the ground, then you can even drape the shoulders over the knees and bring the hands by the side of the feet. And in this position, just take a few moments to feel how the body is. Feel into the shoulders, feel into the arms, into the abdomen, breathing deeply through the nose, expanding the rib cage, and with every exhalation, letting go. So breathing in spaciousness, openness, and exhaling anything which you just need to let go of. Physical, mental, emotional tension, whatever it is. And you can even visualize or imagine that that tension is coming out through the forehead, down into the ground. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and breathing out, 2, 3, 4. One more of those breaths. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. And then from there, let's reach forward with both hands, both arms. And we're going to do this little yogic press up. So we're going to come up onto all fours. And this is half chaturanga. And we're going to keep the elbows gripped into the rib cage as we lower ourselves down. So we lower down so that the nose and the chin, the chest tickle the ground. Abdomen is engaged. And then press away. Pressing away. And coming all the way back into child's pose. So let's do that again. Breathing in. Remember to keep the elbows gripped into the rib cage. Abdomen engages, it helps in the process. Lowering the chest and the chin down towards the ground. And then pressing away. I really do feel that this posture gives you a direct experience of the force of gravity. Absolutely wonderful. Breathing in, coming up. Elbows gripping into the rib cage once more. Lowering yourself down. And you can either stay there in that position, or if you want to take it further on, tucking the toes under and then lifting the knees. So we're in this full chaturanga position. Chaturanga Dandasana, the evil cousin of plank. And then lowering the knees, and this is a really tricky one. You're breathing this whole planet away from you. And then coming back all the way. Sitting back into child's pose and resting. Either the forehead on the fists, the palms, or bringing the hands by the side of the feet, shoulders draped over the knees. So really breathing deeply, acknowledging that work that you've just done there to strengthen the arms and the shoulders and engaging the abdomen, feeling the heart, feeling the heat that's been generated. Breathing deeply through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Slowing the breath down. And then from there, just preparing to move as we bring in the hands forward, coming up onto all fours. And just this simple cat-cow tilt. So as you exhale, arching the back, tucking the tailbone under, the chin comes in. As you inhale, lifting up through the chest, up through the sitting bones. And then exhale, just moving backwards and forwards, just releasing the spine. So with any flow sequence, it's good to balance it with strength and flexibility, and then in between we do some counter poses so we can restore a bit of balance in the body. And then from there, let's just sit back onto the heels and then sit to one side of the legs and bringing the feet forward. So sitting nice and tall and separating the flesh from the sitting bones. And we're going to just do this little reverse plank and boat sequence. So breathing in, lengthening up through the front of the body. Exhale, folding into the legs. So dynamic forward bend. Inhale, bringing the hands back, fingertips pointing forwards, and then coming to reverse plank. Inhale, down. And then bringing the feet towards the body. Inhale, bringing the hips up to reverse tabletop. And exhale, down. And this is now assisted boat. So lift up. So it's strong in the quads, strong in the abdomen, and then lowering those legs down. with control. Inhale, open up through the front of the body. Exhale, release, forward. Inhale, bringing the hands back, fingers pointing forward. Lift into reverse plank. Exhale, release the buttocks down, bringing the feet towards the body. Inhale, lift to reverse tabletop. Really opening up through the shoulders and chest, pressing up with the hips. Release down. An assisted boat. And if you wanted to, you could bring the fingertips forward, but it's strong on the quads. And then release down with control. Let's do one more of those. Breathing in. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, reverse plank. Exhale, release. Reverse tabletop. And release. And let's go into boat. So you can either come into this assisted boat, lifting up through the chest, or you can let that go. Oh my word. This is really the very strong version. And we hold that, we breathe. My legs are shaking, what's going on? And then if you wanted to be brave, you can lower yourself down into a low boat. And then release. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Just feeling what is happening in the body right now. And then just bringing the feet in towards the body, bending the knees, arms out to the side. And we'll just finish off this practice by simply coming into a gentle dynamic twist. So breathing in. And as you exhale, knees go down onto the right side. Inhaling the knees up. And then exhaling onto the left. Inhale up. And exhale onto the other side. And just moving your head in the opposite direction to the knees. So doing this a few times, and I quite like to do this in a kind of relaxed way with the feet hip width apart if you want to make it stronger. And you can bring the feet and the knees together. Only if you know your back is okay. Listen to your body. It's always important to listen to your own body. And if you want it to be really strong, you can even lift those feet off the ground. But this for me is just a simple limbering practice at the moment with the feet hip width apart. So we can ease off and counterpose the strong work that we've done in this practice. So next time the knees have been on the left side, then bring them up to the middle and hug the knees into the chest. Just noticing how the lower back is feeling when you do this. Massage the lower back into the ground. And then rolling onto the right hand side. And coming up into a simple seated position. You just built upper body and core strength using yoga, and that's the foundation of staying strong and active as you age. But strength is only half the story. Flexibility keeps your joints healthy and your movement smooth. So when you're ready, jump straight into the next video, a full body flexibility flow designed to keep you moving freely after 50. How many F's were in that sentence?